Welcome everyone back. So in this video we're going to be going over mastering fair value gaps with order flow here at Price Action Labs. And so every single strategy that you've seen on the internet relies on buyers and sellers at key levels. And so we're going to be breaking down the infamous ICT fair value gap. So this video is going to be dedicated towards finding the right fair value gap, avoiding the wrong fair value gaps, and knowing how to trade the break and retest, which is basically using fair value gaps. So this whole video is going to be about a fair value gap. But before we go into fair value gaps, I want every trader to understand how I form an overall trade. This is going to be a trade breakdown from last Friday, right? So we're going to be going over how to use previous day highs and lows, right? So using a previous day high and a previous day low is very simple. When you see price taking out the previous day high, you go and target the previous day low, right? Or you trade away from that sweep, essentially back down to the previous day low. So using a previous day high is very simple. So this was now the Friday, so I believe this was Friday the 15th of August, right? So if we just kind of zoom in on this price action, what we can see here is this is now the New York session here. This is the London session. So we see the New York session sweep down. We saw an aggressive sell-off after the sell-off from London. So once we take out the previous day high, this is a signal that the markets are going to reverse. So when you're using liquidity, you only need to use previous day highs, right? So that's kind of how I initially frame out the trade. Then for me, if we just make a quick kind of understanding, right? So this was a sell-off that we're going to be going over. And what I want traders to understand is that there's four basic pillars that I use in my trading. I start with market structure, I use my dealing ranges, I understand premium and discount, and then I use my fair value gaps. So here we can see structure low and structure high. This is our market structure. This is what we use to determine the overall direction of the market. Now, once we understand that from here, what we're now looking at, if I just zoom out a little bit, what we want to understand is that we have our 50% here. This is the equilibrium. And